about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? From the 10. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now the first running back drafted in April, this is Breece Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They juked him, and he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll run with Carter. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. The Jets at 2-6 now on the year. And they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
The slot man in motion right. They go play action now. Wilson. Flush to his right. That one caught by Carter. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
In motion goes the tight end. third down. Wilson. And it's a fumble. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. After all of the turnover woes that they had last week, another turnover on the first drive of the game.
And when you dive into the analytics of football, it's real simple. If you're down in turnover margin, you're not going to win very many football games. The best teams always rank in the upper part of the league in terms of turnover margin.
And last week's number for them was 5 turnovers. And as you saw, another one there. A first carry for the rookie from Georgia. It's James Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Allen now looks to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Allen. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
So now on 4th down, Sam Martin on to punt for Buffalo. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. Pulled in at the 24. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 41. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Wilson. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Ed Oliver, that time, the one to get in there and bring him down.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And he'll be out right at the 35. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Tap forward by Allen on the jet sweep.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Vision and speed, two of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And one thing about a play like this, if it's slow to develop, it can turn out poorly. And this play was definitely slow in developing, and that was one heck of an effort to sprint over there and get the man down before he can make anything happen.
That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox.
And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, Bills.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Throwing now is Allen.
That's caught by Gabriel Davis. He'll get it inside the 20.
Touchdown! Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the 1st quarter. But in the 2nd quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10.
At the 40. In motion right is Wilson. On 1st and 10, Wilson. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A good pickup there at 22. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now Wilson on 1st down. On the move to his left.
Taking in left side, it's Wilson.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And that's why you do all the drills that you do from the quarterback position, because you're not going to just throw to your strength. The right-handed quarterback naturally will want to move to the right side to throw the football. But sometimes you've got to go left, and that's exactly what happened on that play. Forced to his left, still able to accurately throw it downfield for a completion.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Here we go.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Wilson.
He gets it underneath to Hall. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup of someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On 2nd and 12, Wilson.
That check down complete to Hall.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
To throw is Wilson. The quick slant caught. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the 1st. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the 1st down. Now to be 4th and short.
coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. Got a man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Tyler Conklin, his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Jets' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Zerline good with a PAT. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive. They watch the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
47 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Again, it's Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that is caught. It's Davis.
He's got the 1st down and more.
And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra men.
And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Reggie Gilliam,
his 1st touchdown on the year.
And the Bills will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half. Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And that makes the score 14-7.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now this is picked picked up by the Bills. And this is going to be brought back for a Bills touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week. He's smiling. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-7.
Tyler Bass as the kickoff for Buffalo.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he'll complete this one to Berrios. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
Paul on to give up the middle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Nifty running there, but it'll come on what should be the final play of half number 1.
That's good for the Jets. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
Yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
From the 17, Allen in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Quentin Williams able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get them going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
74 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And a short gain down to about the 33.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw, it's Allen. Escaping the pressure right. He's got the hook up with Diggs. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 13-yard line. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Now they run the sweep as Allen just pops this forward.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit.
From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
The kick by Bass is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 1st down, Wilson. Open man is Ross, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
That's good for the Jets. 1st down. 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson.
Looking for Ross again. He finds him again. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson, he finds his man, complete. It's Wilson.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Straight ahead is Hall.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Now Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that a 41-yard punt. The net a little greater, though, following a loss on the return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run it again with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. When you've got guys who can flat out run, sometimes all you say in the huddle is go. They ran the fly route, took the shot downfield, just unable to connect.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. Here's Berrios. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. Spinning away. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
Here's a give to Hall.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
In motion comes the tight end left. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 3rd down, Wilson.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
In motion right is Wilson. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. 1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Wilson to throw. Flushed out right.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
This likely a must-have, 3rd and goal.
Here's Wilson. Throw left side, complete to Ross. Touchdown, Jets. John Ross, a 14-yard touchdown.
And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. It's up and good, so they claw back into it, 24-14 now. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
In just about every special teams meeting, there's a discussion with the punter about his importance. Why? He can flip the field for your team defensively, move it deep into their own territory, or if you're backed up on offense, then he can hit a big punt and change field position and help his defense. In this case, though, Field position got flipped by the return team. You can do it so many different ways on special teams. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Forward by Allen on the jet sweep. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Third down. Here's a run by Cook. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Bit of a pressure spot here for Tyler Bass. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And the lead will hold at 10. Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team. But the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Second and 2. Wilson. Got a man open. It's Ross. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. Throwing now is Wilson. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion left. Now Wilson. Rolling to his left. Taking in left side, it's Wilson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both, because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
In motion, the tight end. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Results, brings up fourth down.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this from 34. Zerline's kick is up and through. And this is back down to a 7-point game. Well, that's one part of the equation. Puts them back within one score, but I'd be surprised if we don't see an onside kick coming up.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, partner. They've still got the 2 timeouts. But without that third one, they can bleed a lot more clock on you. So how confident are you that the defense can hold them deep? I think you're exactly right. I'd line up and play for the onside kick here.
And the Bills are going to recover. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
Now flags will come in. One of the Bills got going a little early. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Back to the ground, this time Cook. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 102 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now they run the sweep as Allen just pops this forward. And room there to work it inside the 25.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Allen down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Buffalo,
they level their mark at 4-4 on the year.
And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Jets, the turnaround hasn't materialized as they fall to 2-7. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.
I keep it